In 1929, a little child was born in a small village called Elmetred in Sweden. The folks of villages back then were utterly poor. They've been mainly living out of agriculture. In short, it was a tough country life. The child turned 5 years old and started roaming around houses selling matches, driving on a small vehicle in a critical condition with a fixed box on the back, stuffing a few boxes of matches. He turned 7 years old and saw his customers grew in numbers, because he started selling in other villages too. His aunt was the one buying him the boxes from Stockholm. A pack of 100 box used to cost 88 ore. The ore was an ancient currency in Norway and Denmark. He used to sell a pack of matches for 2 to 3 to 5 ores on his lucky days. Once he turned 10, he started mixing up his merchandise, adding items for decorating Christmas trees, pencils, and the fish he used to catch. That little child was Ingvar Kamprad, the little one who's gonna become the founder of the home furniture worldwide giant Ikea. When Ingvar turned 17 in 1943, his father gave him a money prize due to his excellence at school. Normally for a teenager, he must take that money and travel with his friends and live his life with his blonde Swedish girlfriend. But in fact, he did none of the less. Instead, he took the money and went to create a company called Ikea. The name contains 2 letters from his name, a letter from the farm he used to live in, and the first letter from his village. Ingvar Kamprad Elmetrid Agonarid. The small company started selling backpacks, pencils, frames for pictures, and wallets. The biggest parts of its sales were pens, since they were new to the market. Ingvar used to invent marketing tricks to bring customers to his workshop. For example, he used to give a cake and a cup of coffee to every visitor. Such ideas back then got people amazed. Indeed, he succeeded at capturing customers and his business was blooming that he couldn't even answer the phones by himself. And since he didn't have means of transportation for delivery, he used vehicles for milk transportation to transport his merchandise to the train station. In 1948, he noticed something in Swedish society, and that is the tendency of people in there to buy fancy furniture, but the expensive prices stand as a barrier. He thought of it as a chance. Then Ikea started creating traditional furniture with low costs through a bunch of local producers, located in the forest close to his village. His business grew and expanded, and his primary source of income became home furniture. He was targeting customers of low and middle income. He used to sell with a strategy of low profits to sell big. And that's why he's got a considered famous quote in Ikea that executive directors follow. The latter is, it's better to sell 600 chair with a low price than sell 60 with a higher price. This strategy was a killer to Ikea's competitors. And that's the reason that opened the gates of hell for Ingvar. In 1955, those big competitors led by the giant Gimas Fabriker started pushing the local producers to stop exporting for Ikea. Indeed, they stopped producing for the company. Then a war of prices will start between Ikea and those competitors that were able to shred any of their enemies. They also used to turn the Swedish Union of Furniture and Wood Production against Ikea. This pressure would have been able to map out Ikea from existence. But Ingvar was making sure the people he picked to work on his side were smart. Smart enough to realize that they have problems and their jobs are at risk, so they need to at least be a part of finding solutions to get out of the tight situation. Ingvar at this time had only 4 employees. The 4th employee was a young graduate of Malmö Institute of Technology. His name was Gillis Landgren. He joined Ikea in 1953, 2 years before all of this hustle began. One day, Ingvar sent Gillis to take a 3-legged table named Lafette. Lafette means a leaf in Swedish. He told him to pick the table and go to a nearby photo studio, take some nice shots to the Lafette so it can be included in Ikea's catalog. Gillis tried to put the table inside his small Volvo. He tried to fit the table inside the vehicle, but he couldn't. The table legs were long. Landgren tried everything to stick the table inside. He managed to stick some sides but unable to push the others. He tried everything possible but eventually took a break to think of a solution. The furniture back in the past was massive. Its sheer size used to add to the cost of shipping and delivery. And the moment Gillis was trying to stuff the table inside, a genius idea struck his mind. He was thinking like, where's the problem with taking off the table's legs and put them in the car alongside the body? And once he arrives, he plugs them back again. Simple. From here, ladies and gentlemen, the first idea of flatpacks was invented, which allows customers to carry the items easily like a bag, and also install it easily with the help of an instruction paper that comes with the item. Ikea's slogan became "We hate air," as an indication that there's no gaps in Ikea's products that are shipped across the oceans to other countries. which eventually lowered the prices of shipping, storing, and work in hand. That invention was a knockout to other competitors. After Gillis convinced Ingvar to add the flatpacks to IKEA's business model, that exactly resulted in a revolution on the furniture production industry and turned IKEA from a drowning company based on the Swedish suburbs to an empire of a company that roams the globe nowadays. By the way, Gillis was the one who invented IKEA's famous bookcase Belly that was sold in millions around the world. Ingvar died in 2018. His net worth was estimated at $59 billion, making him the 8th richest person back then. Ingvar died after living for 91 years without taking a single dime from the bank, or even put IKEA on the stock market to help raise his capital. He was only saving the profits to invest later. He died and left IKEA as a legacy, with 420 stores in 55 countries around the world, 250,000 employees, and 9,500 production facility. IKEA's sales reached $45 billion in 2018.